So this is more like a master list of documents that we have. So this is my firm's name. I coach Financial Consultancy Private Limited. So see, it has a department or a function. It has document number. It has name of the document or format or record. Then what is the revision history? How many times it has been revisioned? Then frequency of preparation. What should be the frequency? Who has prepared this, and then anything, it has to be reviewed and approved by someone who retains it, and the retention period.
Hello friends, and good evening. Welcome to SFA Talks by Network FP. With us we have our guest today, Mr. Nandish Desai, co-founder of Jagoinvestor. Hello Nandish, welcome.
Hi Sadik. Thank you so much for having me.
Good to see you, sir. Thanks a lot. Friends, Mr. Nandish Desai is the co-founder of Jagoinvestor. The other founder is Manish Chauhan, manages around 360 crores of assets with 8 members, team members, 8-year-old firm managing with over 1,000 plus clients. So first, Nandish, congratulations to the journey which you and Manish have taken so far.
Thank you so much, Sadik. Thank you so much.
So Nandish, we are glad to start the initiative of SFA Talks with you. And when I was having a conversation with you, got to know quite a lot of progress which you and your firm have been making. So let's get started with this SFA Talks.
Sure.
So friends, many of you must be aware it's Manish Chauhan and Nandish Desai who together started Jagoinvestor way back I remember Jagoinvestor starting in around 2010-11. But Nandish, can you share how did you both come together and how did you get started? You're popularly known as Jai Viru Jodi of financial planning industry. So if you can take us through that background.
Sure, Sadik. So Jagoinvestor, it was started in 2008, and Manish used to work with Yahoo at that time in Bangalore, and I used to work with my father in our family business in Ahmedabad. So I met Manish on LinkedIn at that time. So I was doing my CFP, and I just wanted to connect with friends and colleagues, from different parts of India. So I was having certain material with me, some ebooks with me on money and the subject of money. So on LinkedIn, I posted somewhere that I can give all this material, but the condition is you have to do one call with me and just have an interaction with me. That's it. So Manish accepted my invitation. He said, I'm ready to talk to you. So we had a call, and that call, turned into the partnership that we have today. So I connected with a lot of people at that time. A lot of people showed interest in having that material and chose to do a call with me. So I was very new at that time, and I just wanted to have interactions with new people, with more and more people, so that I'm able to understand this business at a deeper level. So that's how it started, and then till January 2011, Manish continued to work with Yahoo, and initially I left my family business. I told him that business is a very risky thing, so both of us should not leave our comfort zone in one go. So let me try, and then once we reach at a certain level and we are comfortable, then you can also leave your job and join into this full time. So from January 2011, he left Yahoo and he joined into this venture on a full-time basis. So initially we used to do some readers meet in Pune and Mumbai and other places. And somewhere we could see that our vision were matching, like what I was thinking and what he was having in mind was very clear. So we wanted to empower and educate investors. That's the mission that we both were on in our respective lives. And that's how Jagoinvestor came into place. And the word Jagoinvestor was coined by his Yahoo team. So it originated and it came from the Yahoo team. So we are thankful to Yahoo team for giving us the word Jagoinvestor.
Lovely, Nandish. I remember the days of 2011. In fact, Gajendra Kotari and myself, we both had attended one of your readers meet I remember in Powai, Mumbai.
It was at Chandivali.
Chandivali, okay.
Yes. So one of our readers, he said, okay, I have a place and you can come over and do the session. So in those days, there was no money, no resources, nothing. So me and Manish, we reached the place and, it was all bachelor's place. So ऐसा कपड़े सूख रहे हैं, ये वो हो रहा है.
Yes.
And then we cleaned the place. We kept things in place and then converted that room into a venue. And I think you were there, Gajendra was there, and many other friends. I meet them in your network FP event at times. So amazing, I think we all started at the same point,
Same time.
So I think that year was a turning point in all our lives, I guess.
Many of our lives, for sure. Nandish, coming to your practice now, you run a very successful practice with clients spread across India and across world. That's the beauty about the online practice. You have a lot of clients. What would be the rough split between clients in India versus clients across the world?
Well, I don't have the exact number, but I think we have clients now in almost all cities of India, all major cities of India, and NRI base is in more than 30 to 35 countries now. I think wherever there is money and water, Indians have reached there, and that's the base that we have right now.
NRIs in 35 countries.
Right.
So, Nandish, coming to what is the typical client base you serve? That is, the NRI, the kind of income range they have. What do they generally do? And just if you can help us visualize a typical client of yours. And we also know that you have a very organic way of acquiring clients by doing education. If you can share about your client acquisition model and what is your typical client base like?
So our model is very simple. I think from the start, from 2008, the only thing that we have been educating, is educating investors. So I think the formula is very simple. The more you educate, the more you grow your business in any field, not just personal finance, but I think in any field, the more you educate people, the more you grow in life. So that has been from day one, that is what we have been doing. And but when you educate investors, it has to be a very, very pure intention. Otherwise, if you do an event just to get clients or just to get something out of it, then it gets diluted. So at times, even the thought crosses our mind also, let's get some clients and do an event. But still, I try to catch myself and no, we have to be very, very pure in what we do, and it has to be a pure education event, and at times if it gets diluted, then we don't get clients. But if it's a pure event, we definitely get clients. So that has been the formula till now. Our 80% client base has been IT people. 80%. So we have majority of our clients in Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai, Mumbai, Gurgaon. But these are all IT people. So maximum people are from the IT background. And then NRIs, I don't know about their job profile, but then they'll still be into technology or some kind of high paying job that they are into.
Sure, Nandish. And what would be the kind of income range generally who would opt for your services?
See, our average SIP per client has been between 35 to 40,000.
Okay.
So that's the average SIP size that we have. And income wise, I think it has to be between 10 to 20 lakhs has been the average.
10 to 20
I have to take the average, and that is the number.
Lovely. So purity in education is the best way of marketing yourself as a financial advisor.
Yes.
Nandish, building upon that, many of the financial planners, advisors do a lot of activities, but ultimately the core focus comes from one or two products. So I remember you starting mostly with fee-based kind of a fee-based kind of consultancy and advisory, both making plans as well as making education. But then you got into distribution. So what made you get into that transition? And currently, where does your majority of your revenue come from?
Okay, so from 2008 to 2015, I think August 2014, we were fee-based financial advisors or planners. So we used to charge fee and then deliver a plan, and then there would not be any product selling, like no insurance, no mutual fund, no stocks, nothing. And we just thought that if people are coming for advice, let's just give that, we'll not get into products and all. And at that time, all these online platforms like NSE and BSE and all these things were not there. So we just used to create the plan and then, leave people after the exercise is over. But then we could see that, after 2 years, 3 years, when we were interacting with them, we could see that again, their financial life has become messy. And then we thought of, no, we have to get into product selling. We have to provide a robust structure, because if we just create a plan and leave them, then that is not sufficient. That will again make their financial life messy. So then in January 2015, when the NSE platform started, we were the first, to pay fees to the NSE people. And I paid them fees in, I think, August 2014, and they launched it in January 2015, but I paid them in August 2014. I told them, I'm your first customer. I've given you money. So now make sure that the platform is ready by January. And they were also surprised, like, yaar, ye kisne paisa de diya? Kaun hai ye? And we were like, no, I'm waiting for this platform. I'm giving you money. Make sure it is ready by January. And I think before that, we were on BSC, but it used to happen through a DMAT account and all, and it was not very easy at that time. So from January 2015, we got into the distribution thing. A lot of people felt that it's a wrong decision. We should not get into distribution. It's not a good thing, and selling is not good, and all these conversations. But I think we were very clear that selling, I think, is the most beautiful thing in the world. If there was no sales, all the good things would not have reached us that we have in our life. So I love selling, and I think selling is the best part of our work, or it's the best thing to do in the world. Everybody is selling something or the other thing. I think that's the only work that we have on this planet is sales. So we said, okay, we'll get into selling, but we'll be very, very ethical, and we'll always like put client first and then pitch anything. So I've never seen at anything on brokerage and all these things. It's more on, okay, it helps my client, I'll do that. And like we have, our client base is online since 2015. I've never seen them. I've never met them. Like majority of them, I never had any interaction with them directly. Some of them I may have, but not all of them. So now they are investing a few crores just on trust, like just on a phone call. Like I leave my home, I reach my office, and somebody saying, I want to invest 1 crore or 50 lakhs or whatever is the amount. Now it happens like that because of the trust that they have in us. And I think trust is the only currency we deal with as advisors, in this business. So that has been the focus from the start. Like me, Manish, my entire team, like let's make sure that the trust is in place. If trust is there, the rest of the things will fall in place. But if trust is broken, then we'll really have hard times. So everything has been organic, no money spent on marketing or anything. We have never given any Instagram ad or anything till now. It's not like we'll not do that in future, but till now we have not done anything of that sort. And it has been very, very organic, referral based, simple, small, and very slow but a steady journey till now.
Lovely. Lovely quote there, Nandish. Ethical selling is one of the best ways to serve the world. And when it comes to the revenue split, and it also means how we are adding value to our clients between mutual funds, insurance, PMS, and blah, blah, blah. There are just too many products, right? What would be the approximate revenue split between these products which you might be offering?
See, I think the first few years, we were only focusing on mutual funds the first few years. and insurance, life and health insurance, and they were like byproducts, so if it happens, it's fine, otherwise it's okay. But I think from last 1 or 2 or 3 years, I can see that the whole landscape of investing is changing, and mutual fund right now is still like our maximum revenue generating product, in terms of overall percentage. But I think it's changing now. We are doing very well on the health insurance, life insurance, and even the P2P lending and other such additional products. The least revenue comes from PMS. I still don't have my conviction in PMS, the kind of charges and things that I have that are involved. So if any new product, like I put my money first into it, and then only I'll ask my clients to put their money into. So I have not put any money in PMS till now. So I'm still not convinced on the PMS front, like what additional thing it provides, apart from mutual funds and other available products. So I think mutual fund is still like 75 to 80% weightage is to the mutual fund revenue right now.
Sure. Nandish, how do you define your ideal client, quantitatively and qualitatively?
Okay, so we have in the start, we were not very clear on what is the definition of client, or anybody comes to us and, okay, I'll help you. It's more on the emotional front. So I'm always ready to help and share, and I'll spend time with anyone. That's how my design is. But then slowly we learned certain lessons on the economics and whether it's viable or not, and having that long-term view in mind. So now the minimum that we take, a client is like a minimum of 50,000 SIP is like a minimum. Otherwise, it becomes very hard to serve that client on a long-term basis. So there are certain criteria on the minimum SIP or the minimum lump sum, and that is defined by my team, and we stick to that. And that's like minimum on this. The other side is the person has to be coachable. Like, when I speak to that person, or anybody, I always feel that maybe 10% people, they don't need help. They can do things on their own, and maybe 10-20% people, they are not coachable. Even if you die, they'll not listen to you, and they are not coachable at all. And I think 70-80% people, they are coachable. You can train them, you can coach them, you can mold them. So when I speak with somebody, I tell that person that this is like marriage. You have to be with me on a long-term basis. And if you don't have that level of commitment, let's not start. I don't want your money. I want your commitment into the process. If that is not there, we should not start. So there are a lot of people I decline working with them if that long-term vision, or if that synergy is not there, then I'll not take that person on board.
The client has to be coachable. That's your
client has to be coachable. That is like the one fundamental quality, because if the person is coachable, wealth creation will become very easy for that person. Otherwise, I will struggle, that person will struggle, and there'll be a lot of struggle in the business.
Sure. And in terms of, you spoke about the minimum SIP and minimum investments. There is a cost to everybody, you and your team members, right? So has there been any kind of minimum revenue which you have thought of, or which you have calculated by साल में इतना तो revenue देना चाहिए client को to make it an economically viable relationship, Nandish?
Yes, we do a lot of data analysis. We have a person in our team who constantly works on designing the systems, number crunching, taking out certain valuable insights from the numbers, because I think every organization has a lot of data, but then are we really analyzing it and going deeper into the data? So like my cost per client or my revenue per employee, all these calculations are done in the backend by me, Manish, and the person who we have in our team.
Sure. So any numbers which you would like to share, or it differs quite a lot?
It differs. Like I'll not be able to specify it, but we do like it's it's a little lengthy thing. I'll have to show you certain things, but I can't put on a number to this right now.
Sure, no problem. Nandish, you and Manish are, you do a lot of corporate programs and you charge for it also, right? The beauty is you charge, many of us do the corporate programs, but we do it for free, but you charge. So how does this work? And typically, do you see a revenue or an income potential on that side, or it's more like passion and client acquisition too?
Yeah, so my invitation to all the finance professionals is do charge. Like if you don't charge, people will not value you. Okay. So if you think just by going there and giving some lecture, you'll get clients and it justifies your fees or time, don't do that. Like I do some certain events for free. Like I'm doing one event on this Sunday for some young, Rotrack, some club is there. So it has these young people who are just starting their journey. So these kind of events, I sometimes do it for free, but not the corporate events where I will charge like per day, anything between 35 to 50,000 or something per day. But then that's like a mandate charge, which you have to put on you. And don't worry, like if you start charging, people will start paying. But if you don't charge, you will never be paid. So start charging. I think that is a very, very important thing. And even the investor workshops, we charge around 3,500 to 4,000 rupees. And all the sessions that I have done, almost like 60 to 100 people turn up in every event. And we don't take any sponsors of AMC or anything in such paid events, because when they pay, there's no like banner or anything anywhere. We'll charge, we'll book a venue, we'll deliver a session. So that's how we have done till now in different cities.
Sure. Coming to the technology part, obviously coming from the IT background and you serving a lot of IT clients also, can you share with us some 2 or 3 a very good or team and client collaboration tools which you use very extensively at Jagoinvestor?
See, it has been now 6 or 7 years. We have been using Zoho. In our organization. So it's been 8 years. We are totally paperless. Like we don't have any papers in our office. Sometimes if you want to find even a rough page, it takes 5-10 minutes. So there are no papers here. We don't fill any offline forms, mutual fund forms or anything. Only the client documentation that comes is kept at one place. So these are the only papers that we have. So I think Zoho is one very wonderful tool which has everything in it. It's more like an operating system of a business, So we do a lot of interactions using Zoho Click. There's Zoho Creator, so we can create our own apps in that. Even the different dashboards that we have. So I know in my company what is happening right now on a click of a button on what happened today. And in my team, like we don't measure by what time they came and what time they left. We are looking at, okay, what did you produce today? Right. And did you get any testimonial today? If no, then it was not a great day. So it's not, we are not measuring here people's time. Like we are measuring here people's effectiveness. And I don't care whether they want to come today or tomorrow, or they want to take a day off, all fine. But then ultimately what matters is your effectiveness. So Zoho is, I think it has everything in it. So we don't go beyond Zoho. But I think Calendly is one that my team has been using. Zoom we are using. Zoho we are using. And there are what else? I think Typeform we are using.
Typeform, okay.
And
Typeform, typically you use it for what?
Typeform, see, we have generated almost 25,000 investors' data. It has got collected in one of the forms which Manish and I created. So Typeform is like little interactive and more, powerful. You can put some images and something in it than just a Google form or something.
Sure.
So it helps us in generating leads. It helps us in creating certain questionnaires on financial health checkup or any such thing. So we have been using Typeform very, very extensively, and it is helping us. So there's Vimeo and there's Canva and there is.
So the top three, at least which I can take away, are Zoho, Calendly, Typeform. Some of them which you
Absolutely. Because see, what happens is, let's say you want to schedule a call with somebody. Now, Calendly helps you in, defining your working hours and time slots and everything. So when the invitation goes, so at our end, the system is every 6 months, we set the frequency for the clients. It is either 3 months or 6 months or 1 year. So an email is triggered to the client automatically through Zoho, and the same email comes to the person who is handling that person's account. And in that, we put the Calendly link. So then there is no to and fro. WhatsApp, अरे कब बात करना है, कल करें क्या, ये time चलेगा, वो time चलेगा. So every month we look at what is consuming our time, and then we try to put some system into it.
Sure, got it. Nandish, you have been, I think, in India, the first person who authored a book for financial advisors, how to grow your business as a financial advisor. After that, I think only Brijesh Dalmia, I remember writing something for financial advisors. So just two of you in India. So what are the top 3 tips or strategies from that book for financial advisor from you, specifically from that book?
Okay, so one of the thing would be playing the game of no. Like, when you're new, just go out and collect a lot of no's from people. Like, offer your service, tell them how you can help them, and be ready for a no. It's okay. Like, and be ready for no. But the beauty of this is, like, you want to hear no's, but then yeses starts coming in. People start saying yes to you. Okay. So in the initial stage, if you're afraid of hearing no, then bring courage in that matter. And I want to hear no. I'm here. Like, don't be my client. Don't hire me. And you'll be surprised that people will start hiring you. People will start, like talking to you. So that is one thing. The second is fill your calendar with conversations. I think we are in the business of conversation, and your calendar should not be empty. Your calendar should be filled with conversations. And the more conversations you have, the more your business grows. So I think conversations is very, very important. Third one is the internal promise that you make with your own self. Like, I see there are like 3 levels of promises. One is professional promises. Like, अगर किसी ने अपने बॉस को कुछ बोला है, तो the person will keep that promise. The second level is like our family level promises. Like, you tell your wife, अरे आज कल movie देखने जाएंगे, and then sometimes you keep it, sometimes you don't. But the third level is like the promises that you make with your own self internally. Like, कल सुबह 6 बजे मैं exercise करूंगा. Nobody in the world knows about that promise, or only you know it. Now, when the alarm rings, just see whether you are able to keep that promise or not. So in business, when you make that internal promise of, I'm going to talk to 5 people every day, then keep that promise.
True.
And then there'll be a lot of distractions. There'll be a lot of reasons of, for not fulfilling that, but still do it, because you made a promise, do it. Not for any other reason, but because you promised yourself, So I think these 2-3 things I would be suggesting to anybody.
Brilliant. Say no. The more you say no, the more is the focus. The more is the focus, the more you get done. Second is fill your calendar with conversations and client meetings. And third one is about having, I just missed that one. Third one was the conversations. The promise which you make to yourself.
The third level promise that you make with your own self. So, it really works. Like, just make a promise to your own self and fulfill on it.
Great. A couple of more questions, and we will also have an office tour of Nandish Desai today. So Nandish, you emphasize a lot on systems and automations. Can you name some 5 to 6 systems which really you're put in place? And when I say you're put in place, you're documented it and you and your team really use it every single day. And if you can name them and then actually show something interesting from your laptop, which can be interesting and useful to the rest of us.
Yeah, there's a lot of material, Sadiq, in my system now. It's really hard for me to pick, a few out of it, but I'll still show. I'll give you the options, and then you tell me. Like,
Sure.
There is one internal training which we recently did with our team members on power of referrals. Like, one client is equal to how many clients. And if you want, I can show you that. Second is, if you want to see my Zoho or dashboard, how it is designed, I can show you that. Third is like a master list of documents, like what all documents and any advisory has to maintain. So that is something which, if you want, I can show you that also. And lastly, human resource, or like we have like a small team, 8-10 people team. I'm sure like a lot of advisors in India, they have like a smaller 10, 11, 12, or maybe it's a one army team or a 2-3 people in the back end. So how do you recruit people, and then how do you retain people, and then how about exiting them? What should be the process, and a manual of human resource. So that is something, if you want, I can show you this, or I can show you all of this.
All right, so let's zero in on 2 things. One, we would love to see the master list of documents which you maintain and which you keep updated. And next would be the Zoho dashboard. I think these 2 things should be good, Nandish.
Sure.
So maybe we can spend next 2-3 minutes on seeing and having a peek into your laptop.
Okay, so this is more like a master list of documents that we have. So this is my firm's name, I Coach Financial Consultancy Private Limited. So see, it has a department or a function. It has document number. It has name of the document or format or record. Then what is the revision history? How many times it has been revisioned? Then frequency of preparation. What should be the frequency? Who has prepared this? And then anything, it has to be reviewed and approved by someone. Who retains it? And the sorry, I can't see retention period. Okay, so operations is one department that we have. So a client complaint tracker, we use Zoho ticketing platform for this.
Sure.
Then training and workshops or Zoom call workshop calendar, because we do a lot of online events. I'm sure you also must be having your own calendar.
Yeah.
And then checklist of workshops or event coordination. So there is an SOP, like what needs to be done from start till end. There is a proper manual in place and a structure in place. So we run this blog. So then blog and training courses, updation, roadmap, and calendar. So we have that as well. And then every person in our team, we maintain this in Zoho People. So the competence record, personal file, and legal documents, any training needs, identification, training plan, and list of employees that we have. And then records of trainings imparted, like every Thursday from 3 to 4, we always do our internal training. Okay. So everybody has to be available on Thursday 3 to 4, and we also record those trainings and then put it in our archive. Training evaluation record, and then training contents. We also have these KRA KPIs of different verticals and people working with us. List of hardwares or software assets. See, this is something which at times we neglect it. किसी को phone दिया, कोई system दिया, और हमको उसका कुछ number नहीं पता, क्या है क्या नहीं. What is the password of it? So all of that, IT services. In information security policy, it was not there initially, but now we have introduced. Sure. Legal compliance, any kind of statutory or regulatory or financial, right. Tax invoice, payables and receivables tracker. Wow. And then quality system catalog. So any service, it is like scope of certification, quality policy, organization context, all these things are written somewhere. Then see, in our businesses, what kind of risks are there? So there is something called as pastel analysis. So political, or social or technology, and all these risks which are there. We have this client, Airbnb is one of our clients. We have done a lot of programs for them. And when this COVID thing happened, somebody from HR, he's my client. So I was just asking him that, यार आप लोगों के HR मैनुअल में ऐसा कोविड जैसा कुछ लिखा था क्या कि this kind of situation comes then what? And he told me, yes, it is mentioned in the manual.
Oh.
So they go in detail like at this level, so they have identified this as a threat years back, not when COVID hit it, much before that.
This is a comprehensive list, Nandish. Excellent.
Then master list of documents, formats, and records. I think this every advisor, whether you are a single person or a 3 people or a 5 people, whatever, have your list of records ready. Internal audit plan, like internally, what we do is a sales team will do operations team audit, or operations team will do some other team's audit. And then it's not to find any kind of faults or anything, but then, okay, these are the observations and how you can, make the system more robust.
Sure.
Then we'll make list of our corrective and preventive actions, some measurable quality objectives or action plan that we have as a company, records of management review meeting. So पहले हम क्या करते थे ना, कुछ भी मीटिंग हो गया, कुछ भी सब रैंडम चल रहा है. अब कैसा है कि there's a tracker and we are tracking our meeting and conversations and everything.
Sure.
So document change or any introduction or removal of anything, we'll do that now. And then financial budgets we have in place, expenses, cash flows, profitability analysis, HR policy manual is there, induction training sequence is there, employee performance appraisal is there, employee agreements are there, employee wise assets. There is this 9-block business model we have, which we implement, legal documents, Zoho and other softwares, access control, password policy, data backup, and master list of MIS, management information system. And so this is like our master list of documents right now.
This is very exhaustive, Nandish, and I'm sure it has evolved a lot over a period of time.
Oh, yes.
Super. This has been very informative. Can we get down to the Zoho dashboard?
So this is our Zoho dashboard where all my team members' names are there and how much net SIP they have done, or lump sum they have done, or fees they have generated, or health insurance or life insurance or other things. So it's like on a click of a button, I can see like what is happening in my company right now, who is doing what right now. And then there's a lot of automation in this where, we want to check any of our clients. So there are a lot of dashboards in this, like clients dashboard, leads dashboard, even the programs that we do. So all these things can be measured from here.
Oh, wow.
We do risk profiling. So we are maintaining the risk profiling. We have created our own risk profiler. I think before COVID, I used to see risk profiling as like a formality that we do with clients. Mm-hmm. But I think when we saw market coming down to 25,000, then we thought, no, this is a very serious thing and it's not a formality. But then now we don't just check the risk appetite, but we also check the behavioral aspect. Like, what is this person's relationship with risk actually? And then suggest the funds and portfolio accordingly. So I think risk profiling is not a formality. It's a very important activity.
Very interesting, Nandish. This is a lot of work, and no wonder, why you and your firm are doing so exceedingly well. So congratulations and thanks a lot, Nandish, for joining us today. Any final thoughts to our viewers before we end this talk?
I'll just show the value of one referral.
Sure.
I think it will help a lot of people if they are new. So if one person gives just 2 referrals in a year, first year and then second year, what happens actually? Mm-hmm. So you get one client gives 1 referral in the first year and then the other referral in the second year. See, this is what happens. In just 6 years, see what happens. So,
yeah,
1 client is equal to 33 clients.
True that.
And when you lose one client, then what happens? See, कई बार हमको लगता है ना एक client गया ठीक है, but one client gone is this much loss. Okay, so this is like this is our internal thing. I was training my team into what is the importance of a referral and how do you earn referral and how do you why people are important. So we have to respect each lead, we have to respect each client, and that is very, very important.
Lovely. Thanks a lot, Nandish. Appreciate your sharings, appreciate your time. So a lot of kudos coming your way on the chat. Very informative. Yes, excellent, extremely informative. They are inspiring. Yes, you have been inspiring us from the last 12 years and you keep inspiring us. Thanks again, Nandish, for joining us. Appreciate your time, sir.
Thank you, Sadiq. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.